generation as well, or it's going to get
Oh
even
yeah,
more.
yeah. You can't have if your grandparent played for them. I don't think, but I think it has to be like you should be able to pass on your international representative attachments. So say for example, if a player was born in England to an English father or English mother, but their parents had an Irish grandmother, right? So
Yeah,
or Welsh or what have you. So their parents went and played for Ireland and Wales, even though they were born in England through their parents. So that kid's grandparents would be from those places as well. So that's okay. But let's say it was the parents' grandparents. So now the kid hasn't got any grandparent rules that they can play for anywhere else because everyone in their two generations above was born in England. But because their parent played for Wales or Ireland, they can also play for Wales or Ireland or England as their country of the birth. I think we have to think about that
yeah,
because you wouldn't want like the best player that's ever played for Samoa or Tonga or what have you to only be playing for them through like the grandparent rules, right? And then no one else in their family can ever represent that country. There's no legacy there, then, is there? There's no heritage for that. It feels
no,
like.
yeah. I think it needs to be more clear about the whole eligibility thing because it does become a bit of a running joke amongst rugby, doesn't it?
It does. It's not just in rugby.
No,
You see it in other sports and stuff. Definitely. I
I think
just I
once
just
you
feel
sign a
like
professional,
something has to be done about not letting it be that a player's played for a country because their granddad was born there, represented that country with like absolute honour, and then their kids can't play for that country. It
yeah,
just feels that would feel weird to me. I don't
yeah,
know.
I know what you mean.
Anyway, let us know what other people think about that. SLP recommends. Have you got anything, Tom? Any beers that you might have spilled around your bedroom that you want to recommend?
Now you're giving behind the scenes info out there. Anyone who doesn't know, I spilled one of my nice craft ales over an extension cable just before we started recording.
What was it that you spilled?
Beavertown neck oil, which is a common but nice one.
It is a solid one, yeah.
Yeah. As for recommends, I'll take this opportunity. Anyone knows me knows I love Frank Turner's music. So if you've never listened to any Frank Turner music, go do that because it's like get my words out, punk rock folk type music. I know Mark, the Huddersfield fan, he's a big fan of his as well.
Yeah, my little brother Matt really likes him as well.
Yeah,
I think we've chatted about that before, haven't we? Yeah,
possibly, yeah.
yeah, he's a big fan of him too. It's something that's passed me by. I don't know why, but
I
yeah,
think one of his most famous albums had its 10-year anniversary this week, so that's sort of what brought it around to my head.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, oh, my brother has got a gig that he's arranged. Bearing in mind his band haven't really played any gigs since they were like at college, and now they're sort of the same band, I think, but with a different name, and they've all like been through university, and it's like 4 years later. Decided to schedule a gig for the same night as the grand final, so he's an idiot.
That's clever.
Yeah. Um, that's not my recommendation though. I'm not recommending you go to Penwitham Community Hall or wherever his gigs at instead of going to the grand final on the 24th of September. No offense, Matt, but do you know what we watched this weekend? Late to it because it finished on BBC One a few weeks ago. But Sherwood,
Right.
that's good. So it's like a BBC Six episode kind of crime thing, loosely based on some true stories. Um, really good program. I'd recommend that. 6 hours worth of watching that.
I'll have a look. I will squeeze one more in that I've been recommending to people. On Disney Plus, there's a documentary called The Rescue, which is about a few years ago. The Thailand kids football team got stuck down a cave system. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Yes.
And it was a British team that ended up getting him out, just some casual weekend cave divers. It's a whole documentary about that, but it's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. I recommend it.
Yes, that has caught my eye, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about an hour and a half.
Is it on Disney Plus, though? I don't think I'll be able to watch it then.
You'll get a free trial if you've never read
I thought it was on Sky.
No, I've watched it on Disney Plus. It might be on Sky.
I'll see if it's on any other platforms. That's cool. Yeah. That's good stuff.
Very good.
Okay, good stuff. Well, thanks, Tom. I've enjoyed your company for the last 2.5 hours or so. It's always fun catching up, and especially because we didn't get to catch up at Magic Weekend this year.
Yes, unfortunately.
So I hope it's not put Paige out too much, having to put the little ones down herself without your assistance tonight.
Sounds like she's coped. I've not heard screaming from anyone.
Other than you when you dropped your beer.
Well, other than that one.
Do you know what I screamed just before we started? I bit my tongue eating an ice cream, and I thought I'm going to have to play hurt here, but I've got through it okay. Thanks for all the well wishes.
You couldn't leave me to do a full podcast on my own.
Well, you had the rundown. It would have been the only option.
It would have been over in 5 minutes because I just speed read it and not had any opinion on anything.
I have done that before, so yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Next week, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's co-hosting with me next week, but we'll have a show for you next week. So if you want to get in touch with us at Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/Super League Pod, superleaguepod@gmail.com, or go to superleaguepod.com. You'll get the episode blog post that'll have all of the relevant links, all of for the Google forms, for the fan views that we want to talk about on next week's show. Just a shout out to our friends. Rob's Megastore, enter SLP10 on checkout, get 10% off your order. Little Warden, vital alerts for hidden issues, head to littlewarden.com to see what they can do for you. And Sarah's Bookcase, Sarah sells Usborne books with access to over 3,000 titles from baby to young adults. There's something for everyone. Find out more on Facebook. Is there anything else you want to part us with? Any wisdom, any digs you've wanted to get out that now there'll be less people listening at the end of the episode, so they might not quite... you might not quite get the same torch-bearing mob come after you. It might just tickle a few people's fancy.
I want Always in Our Shadow to follow me on Twitter so I can find out who they are. Stop hiding behind the screen name.
I'd love to know who Always in Our Shadow is as well. But
plot twist, it's Paige.
The biggest plot twist is if it was Scoots.
It was just come in and give me an evil look. Are you always in our shadow?
I am not, no.
Do you think that they all know who it is, but they're just protecting their anonymity?
Possibly. They all have a little meeting.
That's it, yeah. They all catch up underneath the stand at the end of the game. Okie dokes. Well, with that, we will say thank you to you, Tom, for joining us. Thank you to everyone else for listening to your favourite rugby league podcast, the Super League Pod. And until next week, goodbye.
Bye. Right. Yeah, it went about 7 years ago. I ripped my ACL off.
Yeah, you told me about that before. Yeah. I didn't realise it got. Yeah, I didn't realise it was so bad that you couldn't play at all now.
Well, I went back for 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
And went back one game after COVID, and then slipped, and it very, very nearly.
You thought better of it.
No more.
Well, you got responsibilities that you didn't have then now, haven't you?
He did not think better of it. I told him.